Good afternoon. This is call number 2020-07756 in the instance of Julissa Romo. Please raise your right hand to be sworn, ma'am. You solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right. Please state your name and your relationship to the child.
Deyanira Cáceres, I am the mother.
For the state?
Angela Jeffrey,
She's in Texas.
Code will note that the non-custodial parent is Julian Ezequiel Romo.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Romo served on March 30th, 2020 at 7:31 p.m. at 7533 Avenue F in Houston, Harris County, Texas. And he has not filed an answer. Is that correct, Ms. Jeffries?
He is not, Your Honor.
Court will also note that he's been given further notice of this Zoom hearing by certified mail, return receipt requested. I don't have a delivery date. I just have two of the same letters.
Give me 1 second, Your Honor.
All right, court will note that, let me make sure this is the correct number. Yes, this certified letter was delivered on September 12th, 2020. He's not checked in, is that correct, Ms.
He is not.
Jeffries?
He is not, Your Honor.
We'll proceed by default. Go ahead.
The state calls Deyanira Marisol Cazares. Ms. Cazares, what is your relationship to the child, ma'am?
To the child, I'm her mother. She's my daughter.
Okay. And you signed an acknowledgement of paternity in the hospital, acknowledging her paternity, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And Mr. Romo signed one as well.
Yes, ma'am.
Who handles the day-to-day decision making regarding Julissa Romo?
I do.
Okay. Is Mr. Romo ever involved in that decision making?
No.
Okay. And are you asking this court to appoint you as the sole managing conservator of this child?
Yes, ma'am.
And why are you asking this court to appoint you as the sole managing conservator of this child?
It was a violence situation that occurred last year. And I rather not have no type of contact with him or anything like that.
Okay. So in the last 2 years, has there ever been an issue of family violence between you and Mr. Romo?
Yes, ma'am. Last year.
Okay. And what happened during that incident?
He threw me out of a car. And the car was still going.
Okay. And did he face criminal charges for that?
Yes, ma'am. There was a police report done and everything. Yes.
Okay. And so are you asking the court to fine for family violence in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Does Mr. Romo currently know where you live?
Yes, he does.
Okay. Are you asking this court to not disclose your address though, going further?
Yes, ma'am, please.
Okay. And why are you asking this court to, if you do grant it, not disclose your address?
For my safety.
Okay. Do you believe him having your address will cause you harm or harassment, ma'am?
Yes, I do believe that.
He knows where you live now. Is that correct, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Well, has he caused you or or your child any harassment or abuse or serious harm or injury?
He's passed by there. So yeah, but he's never stopped completely. But he stopped by there before. Like what's it called? He passed by there. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, but has he caused you any harassment or abuse or harm or injury?
Not recently, but before he has last year.
Last year.
Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead.
And
And if he knows,
regarding,
let me ask the question. If he knows, if you move and he knows where you live, is he likely to cause you any harassment or abuse or serious harm or injury?
Yes, sir. He will.
And you think that because why? If he
Uh,
hasn't done
be,
it in the last year.
um, the thing is that he has a drinking problem. So when he's drunk, he happens to call a lot, block late at night and stuff like that. So I had to block him from my phone as well because of those issues.
All
So
right,
yes.
go ahead, Miss
all
Jeffries.
right. And so in regards to the geographical restriction, are you asking this court to not place a geographical restriction on you at this time?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Um, as far as possession and access, when was the last time that Mr. Romo seen your daughter?
Um, we had tried for him to see the baby through the mom. She would pick her up and he would take her. But that didn't turn out really good. I believe it was sometime last month. Yes, ma'am, last month.
Okay. So are you asking this court to order a modified possession schedule in a protective setting?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you asking that any possession and access exchange for visitation occur at 744 Canal Street, Houston, Texas 77011?
Yes, ma'am.
And what is
And you
that?
mentioned,
What is that? Where is that place? MS
yeah,
Express. What is that?
It's a gas station.
Oh, okay. And the first series of the modified visitation is supervised. So who's going to supervise the visitation?
The mother, I would want the mother to supervise the visitation.
You talking about his mother?
Yes, sir.
And is she in agreement with this to pick up the child at that address?
Yes, most likely. Yes, like I said, we tried to do it before, but it just with him it didn't turn out good. So I know she's willing to do that.
Okay. And as she mentioned in this order, Miss Jeffries, the
she is not right now. It just says obligee or a competent adult. We can update that language, Your Honor, to reflect that if you want that included.
that's all right. Okay, go ahead.
All right. And you mentioned about Mr. Romo's alcohol consumption. You're asking the court to place a provision in there that he abstain from alcohol and controlled substance within 12 hours of access to the child. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And in the past, have you seen him abuse alcohol or controlled substances, ma'am?
Um, I have. He actually has two DWIs.
Okay. Do you understand after that modified possession schedule, it would then go into a standard possession order?
Yes, ma'am. I do understand.
Okay. Do you have any personal knowledge of where Mr. Romo currently is employed?
No, ma'am. I do not.
Okay. Do you have any personal knowledge if he has private health insurance available for the child?
No, I do not.
Do you have private health insurance available for this child?
No, ma'am. I do not as well.
Okay. And so, do you know if Mr. Romo has any, children under 18?
Yes, he has two other children.
Yeah, I would just like the court to know that this order is based on a minimum wage presumption, giving credit to the other two children that Mr. Romo has.
All right.
As far as the cash medical, are you asking this court to set a cash medical in the amount of $38 against Mr. Romo beginning November 1st of 2020?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you understand, based on a minimum wage presumption, that the child support will be $176 beginning November 1st of 2020?
Yes, ma'am. I understand that.
Okay, and you have not asked for retro child support, medical support, or dental support. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am, that's correct.
And finally, if any court costs are assessed in this case, who do you believe they should be billed against?
Mr. Julian Romo.
Okay, I have nothing. Oh, I'm sorry. Do you believe this order to be in the best interest of the child?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, are you asking the court to approve this order?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you asking the court to fine for family violence against Mr. Romo?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you also asking the court to not disclose your address?
Yes, ma'am.
I have nothing further for this witness, Your Honor. I'll pass it.
All right, the order will be approved as submitted. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Cazares, you can log off.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
And then I have Mercer, Your Honor, coming up next.
Carter, is that the
Mercer,
one?
Mercer, Your Honor.
Mercer and Carter. In the interest of Alyssa Carter, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Is she on the line?
This is a UIFSA case, Your Honor, and Mr. Mercer
Oh, okay.
is not here.
All right. This is cause number 2020-07871 in the interest of Alyssa Carter. Please identify yourself for the record.
Your Honor, my name is Attorney Angela Jeffries. I represent the Office of the Attorney General.
All right. The court will note that this is a petition under the Uniform Interstate Family Support Act, and the non-custodial parent is Jarrett Mercer. Mr. Mercer was served on April 2nd, 2020 at 10:08 a.m. at 5301 North Sam Houston Parkway East, apartment 1502 in Houston, Harris County, Texas. He has not filed an answer. Is that correct?
He is not, Your Honor.
Court will note that he was given further notice of this Zoom hearing by certified mail, return receipt requested, and that was delivered September 12th, 2020. We'll proceed by default. Go ahead.
Your Honor, I would first ask that you take judicial notice of the uniform support petition. In that uniform support petition, the other state has requested that we adjudicate Mr. Mr. Mercer as the father of the child, that we set child support and medical support, and address issues of non-disclosure.
All right.
The declaration provided by Ms. Carter basically states that she is alleging that Mr. Jared Christopher Mercer is the father of Alyssa Carter. So we would ask that you find in this default order that he is adjudicated to be the father of this child. As far as child support, Your Honor, this is based on a minimum wage presumption. So we are asking that child support be set based on that in the amount of $205 beginning November 1st of 2020. The uniform support petition also mentioned that the custodial parent, Ms. Carter, has health coverage for this child. We're asking that a cash medical be set in the amount of $113 beginning November 1st of 2020 to go back to her to cover the health insurance. Also in the uniform support petition, Your Honor, she asked that a non-disclosure be ordered in this case based on her allegations in that document. So we're asking the court to have a finding of non-disclosure of her address. And there was no request for retroactive child support, medical support, or dental support. So we are not asking for that in this order, Your Honor. And lastly, we're asking that any court costs that are ordered be billed against Mr. Mercer as billed. And I have nothing further for this order, Your Honor.
All right, the court will approve the order submitted. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, this is cause number 2019-85701 in the interest of Bree John Wallace. Please identify yourself for the record. Who's with the agent?
Marcella Turner for the state of Texas.
All right, and court will note that this is a petition under the Uniform Interstate Family Support Act, and the non-custodial parent is Brandon Dwayne Wallace. Mr. Wallace was personally served on February 11th, 2020 at 4:57 p.m. at 910 Cypress Station Drive, apartment 817 in Houston, Harris County, Texas. It appears he's filed no answer. Is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
He was also given a further notice of this Zoom hearing by certified mail, return receipt requested, and that was delivered on October 16th, 2020. In Austin, Texas. That was a new address you had on him, is that correct?
No, actually it isn't. I didn't get a chance to view
Oh,
that.
this
Sorry,
is
Your Honor, give me 1 minute.
okay. Okay, sorry. This track says
Oh, I didn't see that. I'm so sorry. It looks like
October
it was
16th,
Austin.
delivered in Austin, Texas.
Yes, it looks like it was. I'm gonna assume it was returned to sender, and I didn't realize that before I sent it over. Sorry, Your Honor.
All right,
Go ahead.
you need to send it to Maria, and the address is 11200 Huffmeister Road here in Houston, Texas, which was a different
Correct.
address from where he was served. So can we send that before we continue with this hearing?
We could, but we'll have to reset it in order to do that unless the court would be willing to allow us to proceed as a no answer default. He's filed no answer, nor has he made an appearance.
Uh, well, okay, we'll proceed as a no answer.
Thank you, Your Honor. At
All
this
right.
time, the state would ask that the court take judicial notice of the general testimony provided in the Uniform Interstate petition that was filed with this court back in December, which in and of itself has testimony from the custodial parent stating that she engaged in sexual intercourse with Mr. Wallace and that there is no possibility that anyone else could be the father, and that Mr. Wallace has also acted in a manner as if he were the father, and the parties lived together for some period of time as well, from I believe it was January 2010 to December of 2010.
All right. Anything further?
Yes, Your Honor.
All
The
right.
state also asked that the court order monthly medical support in the amount of $40 beginning November 1st of 2020. The information regarding the medical support was also listed in the petitioner's general testimony located in the petition, interstate petition as well. CP has insurance through another source. And we ask that the court order the child support begin November 1st of 2020. I'm sorry, that the medical support begin November 1st of 2020. In addition to that, no income information was found on Mr. Wallace, and the state asked that the minimum wage presumption apply in this case in order child support in the amount of $192 to begin November 1st of 2020. That includes credit for one other child outside of this case, which was found to be under the age of 18, which Mr. Wallace is obligated to cover support for. The other child has since emancipated based off of the investigation. The state would ask that the court approve this default order at this time.
All right. The court will approve the order submitted. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. May I be excused?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So you have Andrea's.
Yeah, I sent it to you. And
Oh, you
then-
did?
Yeah, and she sent me something, and along she said she was gonna come in tomorrow. So